This is the plaintiff, Angela Nunez. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant, and it had all sorts of problems which were never fixed in a timely manner. She had to move out due to the terrible conditions, and is suing for the $4,000 she is now owed. This is the defendant, Jeffrey. He says he sent the plaintiff a refund of $1,425 after some deductions for damages, and she's been fairly refunded for her security. The plaintiff was a bad tenant who slacked on paying the rent on time. He did everything by the book and owes nothing. He's accused of bad landlording.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says she was a really good tenant. She cannot fathom why the defendant, her landlord, is keeping her security deposit. But the defendant says the plaintiff was a terrible tenant who never paid her rent on time, and he's entitled to keep her dough. It's the case of give me my money back or else.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Nunez, you lived in the apartment managed by Mr. Jeffrey. You lived there for how long? 1 year?
No, I lived there for almost 4 years.
4 years, okay. And if it was, my understanding from your complaint is that there were problems, the problems weren't addressed well, why did you keep renewing?
I didn't really have the choice, but most of the problems started the last year that we were there.
All right, so you decide you're not going to renew, you're moving. I don't know whether your boyfriend and you break up then or before or after, it doesn't matter. But the bottom line is that you wanted your security deposit back, and what did the defendant tell you?
That they were only going to offer less than what I was going to agree on.
Did you do a walkthrough?
I did do a walkthrough, and when I
Who
did
you do a walkthrough with, Mr. Jeffrey or someone else?
Lance, their realtor and broker.
Okay, and when you did the walkthrough, were there any complaints?
No, there was just about a dirty fan and threshold on the carpet, and then a small dent was on.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And that was it.
So what was wrong with it, and why did you deduct so much from the security deposit? The security deposit was how much? 19 something?
1925, Your Honor.
And by the time the check was supposed to come, it was $800. They wanted to take 50% of it. So you tell me, Mr. Jeffrey, what was wrong with the place?
A little bit of clarification. The deposit was $1,925. The original move-out letter that she was sent was for deductions.
I'm going to need you to slow down a second. First of all, let's backtrack. Tell me what was wrong with the place. Give me the list of the things that was wrong with the place.
Tub was stained beyond belief, not reasonable regular wear and tear. The
Okay,
AC
give me 1
vents
second
were-
and let me take a look at that. So that's the tub we're talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And is that something that comes off if you clean it or not really? Yeah.
We had to hire an industrial special crew to clean that tub.
Okay. What else was wrong with the place?
The AC vents.
Because that's the only picture
were-
I have.
Lance, the marketing agent, is here to testify because he's the one that does the move-out walkthroughs as our broker.
Did he take
can go-
pictures?
The pictures were sent to the plaintiff. However, we still
I have a
offered
question
them-
that is so easy. Do you have pictures to show me? Because the only picture that I have in evidence is the picture of the dirty tub.
If you give us a minute, we can track what other remaining pictures are there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So there was a bunch of things wrong, and you said to them, we will return how much?
They got a deposit letter which showed that their deposit return should be $1,005. However, because they had lived there for 4 years, we offered them a settlement of $1,675 to return the deposit. Which
Here's my question. When you sent them the document that says the return is $1,000, did that same document say, but because you've lived there 4 years? Or did that happen because they started to complain?
No, the initial document said we would give them a deposit return of $1,675.
Okay. So this is the letter. It's dated April 15th, which is within the time Florida law requires. And then what it says is you're responsible for the below damages. It goes into an automatic fee that apparently your lease, you don't contest that, right? Apparently your lease, Ms. Nunez, says that you have to pay $150 no matter what?
The $150 that was not in the lease agreement for a lease fee. The only $150 that was in the lease was a $150 cleaning fee to be deducted. So that's where that.
Okay, is that what you're referring to when you call it lease addendum fee, Mr. Jeffrey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Failure to maintain AC vents and mold cleaning. They're going backwards and claiming $350 in late payments, excessive stains to the tub to the tune of $95, carpet stained to the tune of $150, wall holes and damage, a light bulbs missing. Did you take the light bulbs?
No, I did not.
Total damages $1105. Your security on file is $1925. This is a notice of my intention to impose claims in the amount of $1105 on your security deposit. And then he says, if an agreement is reached, instead of imposing $1105, he'll reach the agreement of $395. Okay, so that would be, I say I'm kind of confused. How do you get to the figure $1625?
We had offered them a settlement deposit. They had $1925. We offered to just reduce it by $300 and call it.
Okay, because your
even.
letter says $395. So are you saying that subsequent to this letter that the parties spoke?
There were a few conversations back and forth where we were trying to show them that we were making a good faith effort to trying to find a reasonable amount of deposit for them, which they ultimately agreed to.
Okay, so in the end, what was your last offer?
The last
that
offer
they
that they agreed to was $1425 return, which was the reduction of the $350 in late fees and the $150 per the lease. They agreed and signed a settlement and a release of everybody of $1425.
Okay, so if there was $1925 deposit and $1425 was what you were going to give back, then you went from a letter that offered keeping only $395 to keeping $500.
Yes, because
so
they
we're going in the wrong
rejected
direction
offer.
For settlements. Okay.
Well, that was our
All
initial
right.
settlement. They rejected it a couple of times.
And then finally, I guess they got tired, you got tired, it went back and forth and back and forth. And he's right that I do see a signed settlement to accept $1425, Ms. Nunez. So what happened?
Honestly, yeah, I was just tired of just fighting and waiting and wondering what was going to happen. Were we going to get our deposit? I mean, this is during a pandemic, and I overly cleaned, I painted, I left the place so nice.
So did you change your mind on the agreement?
Yeah, I just wanted to go forward because I was done just dealing with the stress, and I wanted our deposit. So we signed, we moved forward, and that's when 7 days later I sent an email like, where's our check? It's been 7 days. And then I'm not sure, a lot of times on the emails, I didn't know who I was speaking to because they wouldn't put their name at the bottom of the email, but all they sent back was it was mailed. So then I just responded, when was it mailed, and was it mailed certified so this could be tracked?
What was their response when you said, was it sent certified and can it be tracked?
They said, no, it was sent Thursday by regular mail.
Why was it sent regular mail, Mr. Jeffrey? Wouldn't it be great if we could track that payment? Because she says she never got it.
She saw the proof of the document from the bank showing that there was within 48 hours of her signed settlement, she had the cashier's
That
check,
proves
the copy.
absolutely that you went to a bank and you got the check, and that's pretty good proof. You know what would be better proof? Proof that she received it and put it and decided not to cash it because she wants to fight you and weasel her way out of a settlement. That would be better proof. So I'm just asking you, did you mail it certified return receipt or any other way, FedEx, UPS, anything that is trackable, or did you just stick it in the U.S. mail? Yes or no? Answer my question. Yes or no?
Your Honor, we did not do FedEx. We sent it regular mail,
Okay.
but she had refused previously 2 certified mails.
Okay. Let me hear now from your witness, the realtor, who I believe found some pictures. I just wanted to see them. First of all, can we swear him in? Was he sworn in? Can we swear him in, Douglas, please?
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Reed, were you able to find the pictures we were looking for?
Can you guys see that?
That's perfect. Okay, go through the pictures for me real quick, and we'll be fine.
That's the missing threshold entering into the bedroom.
Got it?
That's a hole in the bedroom wall, small hole in the wall.
Got it.
That is the very dirty master bathtub. That is peeling cabinets in the kitchen.
Got it.
another peeling section, and that is some scuff marks in the bedroom wall,
Okay.
and that's all the pictures I have.
Okay, excellent, Mr. Reed. Thank you very much. That was helpful. I always like to see it anyway, even though it has it doesn't necessarily have a legal effect on the case, Ms. Nunez, because I like to see if it's a landlord who's bullying you, as particularly during COVID, or if it's a landlord who has some damages and wants to try to reach some agreement. Those are some damages, okay? Which is probably why you signed, not just because you were bullied or exhausted, but you signed. And then at some point, I guess you must decide that you wish you hadn't signed, because I know they don't have any proof, and Mr. Jeffries should be sending this certified mail. If you don't pick up your check, too bad for you. He has proof that you didn't pick up your check. So that would be awesome, because you're gonna pick up your check. You may not pick up other certified mails that are bills, but you're gonna pick up something you're expecting, like a check. But I know that they cut the check, okay? Because they're not gonna go, they're a business, they're not gonna go through the trouble of getting that cashier's check and not mailing it to you. Because of course you're gonna sue. You know, they wanted this behind them. So I believe they mailed it to you, and either you received it and changed your mind, Ms. Nunez, or you never received it. Either way, I am going to enforce the settlement, and I'm not gonna let you to come here now and sue for the $4,000, because I believe that that check was probably mailed. Here's what's gonna happen. I find that the defendant did what he needed to do in order to comply with the settlement. I find that there is a settlement. You can't, I believe, Ms. Nunez, that you've changed your mind, and that's why you're suing now, not for $1,425, but for $4,000, because you feel you've thought it through and you think it's wrong or whatever. I don't blame you for getting mad that a week later you don't have it and they have no way of tracking it. I would get mad at that
But
too.
we never.
But I am not going to order them to pay you $4,000. I am going to order them to pay, I am entering a judgment on your behalf in the settlement amount, which is $1,425. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
So the judge says the $1,425 that was sent to the plaintiff is all she's going to get. She can't get $4,000. Let's see what she thinks about that. Ms. Nunez, how do you feel about it? What's your opinion?
I'm very upset. I never received the check. I dealt with so much stress and left the place super nice. I agreed to a $150 cleaning fee, and that should have been the only thing that was taken out. I went back and forth with them with all the fight and stress, dealing with all the maintenance calls. It was actually, I believe we deserved more than $4,000.
All right, let's talk to Mr. Jeffrey and see how he feels about it. Jeffrey, let me ask you, she didn't get the check. Will you send her another check? What will you do?
Happy to make sure she gets the check. This defendant has a long history of exaggerations and lying. She was very happy at the unit, stayed there for 4 years. Even in her last 60 days, I bought her a brand new air conditioning unit. We've responded to numerous emergency phone calls. We feel we treated the tenant great. We waived all of her maintenance deductions and just tried to honor late payments, lease penalties, and we expedited the check, a cashier's check with clear funds. Why she's claiming she didn't get it is just part of her continued exaggerations while living at the property.
Okay, so that's the outcome of the case. She will only get the $1,425, not $4,000. Very interesting indeed. Let's see what the judges have to say about this.
Judges love settled cases and settlements, and they don't want to go back and reinvent the wheel when they can avoid it. And in this instance, I guess that was the most important thing for you when you were evaluating the case, was you were convinced she settled it.
I feel like a settlement is a one-shot deal at being honorable, and if you dishonor it, then we're back. It's it's a reset. And I feel like the plaintiff should be, or the defendant, whoever it is, it'll be a plaintiff because it'll be somebody who's claiming.
So you
now
start
I want
the rodeo
more money.
all over again.
I think you start the rodeo over again. I don't think you get to not abide by the settlement, and even though it's easier for judges, obviously, because you don't have to go through everything.
You know what? I think it's a fact-specific analysis for a judge. You know, in some cases, you're looking to see if somebody's really behaved dishonorably and like a villain, and the other party deserves whatever remedy they're requesting.
Right. I suppose it would be different if the plaintiff. I wouldn't let a plaintiff start from ground zero if they said, if they said, well, he never even sent the check.
Right.
Or he didn't send the check by day 7. I got it on day 8.
Right.
And our agreement was day 7. I suppose that's technically a
Right,
violation of
right,
the agreement,
right.
but I suppose I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't press the reset.
Right, but if the guy never bothered to try to pay.
Right, he did
then
nothing,
you
and
just
it's
say,
day
okay, you wanna
22.
tear out the agreement?
eh,
Sure.
Right.
Why not?
It's a matter of degree, as
Exactly.
so much is.
Like everything else.
Okay, now, Fran wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, our next door neighbor flooded our basement by leaving the hose on for 4 days. Insurance covered everything except a $1,000 deductible. How do we get our neighbor to pay us back the $1,000? We are now out. Assume in small claims court. This is a perfect case for small claims. And anything you're out, if the insurance company covered some but not all, that remainder you're entitled to. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case inside the courtroom.